On this video, I would like to talk to us about the rent red flag. The red flags that you need to observe when it comes to renting. If you are a client that wants to rent a home or is looking for a place, especially in Abuja, you must also have these factors in mind. You must be aware of these things I want to talk about this day. If you are renting an accommodation, it's very easy when you're moving from house A to house B to gather the rent and pay the first rent. After the first rent, most tenants begin to have issues with the landlord because the landlord will either increase or will tell you that he or she wants to use her property. So, how do you know this problematic landlords? How do you avoid them? It is not common to identify them, but with my experience in property, I will want to give you some few techniques that you can use to know this landlord that are notorious in increasing rent or that are notorious in chasing away um, tenants for new tenants. One, when you are when you approach a property and the landlord begin to give you unnecessary conditions that you cannot that you feel it's so unnecessary, that you feel it's too cumbersome for you, please and please don't force yourself to rent such property. I give you an example. Were to rent out a property to one of my clients in F01 Kubwa here in Abuja. And considering the fact that the electricity in Abuja in Nigeria is epileptic, people are finding new ways to get themselves um lightened. So most people have resolved or has resorted to using solar panels and alternative sources apart from the AEDC. So wherever you go to, you see people moving about with their solar panel and all their the alternative to their electricity for their comfort. So this particular client was moving because she is in a one bedroom flat, but because the place is too small for her now, because she has, even if you get to go to her house, you even ask her if she sells clothes because she has turned her parlor to her mini bedroom because of the space can no longer contain her, so she's looking for a place. So we got a place for her which she liked because of the proximity to her shop and her church. Her movement entirely, it's a very good accessible area, so she liked it and we were ready for payment. And all of a sudden, the caretaker of the property told us that the landlord said there will not be solar panel on his roof, and which is the new development now in Abuja. If you're renting a property in Abuja, you also should know this, that most new houses don't allow tenants to put solar panels on their roofs due to leakage and other inconveniences. But I think there is a better way to go about this. If you don't want a solar panel, or if you feel that a solar panel is causing issues on your roof, what you do is there should be a caveat to that. There should be a caution fee, which we even told the caretaker that we are ready to pay caution deposit. Pending when we're leaving, we can get back this deposit. And the caretaker told us bluntly that the landlord, he has talked with the landlord severally on this, and the landlord vehemently disagreed and refused. So I told my client, please, let's look for another property, because from ab initio, you see there's a red flag. By the time you park in, this landlord will tell you, oh, if you agree to that, his or her, to the if she had agreed to his request, by the time she pack in, the landlord would begin to say, don't spread your cloth here, you spray it here. Don't put your car, don't park your car here, you park it here. And troubles. Before you know, the landlord will say, leave my property, or they'll end up in the court. So such houses, as a tenant to be, is a red flag or a no-no for you to stay alive in Abuja. When you go to a house that there are a lot of no-nos, don't do this, don't do that, don't. Please stay away from such houses, no matter how beautiful the property is, no matter how no matter how the good location the property is. Stay away from such property. Another thing is when you go to a house, you want to rent a house, and the landlord begin to tell you that you have to pay for years outside the 1 year. And you know the economy today is biting hard. To get 1 year rent, it's difficult. Talk more of 2 years and 3 years. So some landlords, they are in the habit of getting putting such laws to milk tenants. Because I call it milking a tenant, because that same tenant that you're asking to pay for 3 years has other has other challenges, school fees and other things to deal with, the shop rent, and health and other fees, especially in Nigeria, that you are a government of your own. So why would you want to collect 3 years? And I'm telling you from experience, if such landlord collects 3 years from you, at the expiration, even before the expiration, he or she will increase the money. They will increase the rent. Have you ever asked yourself, why is that some landlords increase their rent every year and some don't increase their rent? How do I also know this landlord that don't increase their rent yearly? And that is what we are discussing now. Like I said, the first one, when you go to a house that you have a lot of don'ts, stay clear. It's a red flag that such landlord will increase their rent after the expiration of your rent. When you go to a house that the landlord tells you to pay in years, as outside the 1 year rent, stay out of such property, because of course that landlord will increase the rent. And if you go to a house that the landlord lives there, is a red flag. You see, in every circumstances, there is no 100%. You will say, okay, I'm not like that. Out of 100%, let me tell you, 99% of landlords that stays in their property, it's a red flag. It's an issue. Let me ask you this question: if you stay in your own property and somebody, you find somebody trying to do one or two, maybe putting nail on the wall while you're there, would you be happy? Even when you cannot talk and you feel you're a landlord that is quiet, you will not be happy inside you. So staying with a landlord in a property is a no-no. If you want to stay long and want to make sure that your sanity is intact when it comes to renting property in Abuja, in Nigeria, please don't live where the landlord stays. Because no matter how um, innocent, no matter how good, and no matter how patient the landlord is, he is a human being. That is the first factor. He's a human being. And emotions, most times or all the times, supersedes logic. Before the logic will come in, the emotion must have taken its course. Like if somebody walks into this place now and slap me, what you think is what would you think is my first reaction? My first reaction is to reiterate or retaliate, to slap the person back or to shout at the person because that is the emotion. Then before my logic will come in for me to say, oh, this is my uncle, is my father, is my mother, is my friend, is my mentor. I must have the emotional part of me must have taken its course. So you see, for me not to get into such mode, for me not to carry out such actions, I have to what? Avoid a place like that. I have to avoid such circumstances, and that is what we are talking about today. Avoid houses that landlord lives in. And finally, avoid houses that you feel that are too beautiful and the budget is not your budget. For example, everybody wants to stay in where it's secured, where it's beautiful, environment that is fine. Yes, but 99% of those third roads you're looking for, 99% of those beautiful places you're looking for, they increase their rents. They increase their rent yearly. Go make your inquiries. Ask those people that stays around or in those places what it is like. They'll tell you, come and stay in this place. You say, oh, there's no light. Oh, the light there is not on 33 kVA, it's on 11 kVA. See, the people in 33 kVA, the way they increase their rent, you will not believe it. Almost out of 100 landlords, 100 of them increase rent every year in those places that you call 33 kVA. So I believe we don't need a big mouth to say it the way it is. Rather, we need a listening ear to understand what I've been talking about. See you in my next video. God bless you.